It's Friday, the 24th of March, 2023. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's jump straight in. Story number 1, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese fought back tears yesterday as he stood alongside Indigenous leaders to announce the wording of the Voice referendum. This is after weeks of debate.
The federal cabinet approved the final wording that will be inserted into the Constitution if the Voice referendum, expected in October, passes. It will read, and I quote, "A proposed law to alter the Constitution to recognise the First Peoples of Australia by establishing an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice. Do you approve this proposed alteration?" Simple as that. Albanese said a body, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Voice, will be able to advise executive government as well as federal parliament if the referendum is successful. But the parliament will have the power to make laws with respect to matters relating to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Voice, including its composition, functions, powers and procedures. The Prime Minister was emotional yesterday, saying he felt the weight of responsibility of running a referendum. He said efforts up until now to close the gap have not worked and that the country cannot afford to keep doing and failing at the same thing. Indigenous Affairs Minister Linda Burney put it pretty well when she said yesterday was a truly historic day and the starting gun had been fired. What will be crucial to the referendum's success or otherwise is what the Liberal Party decides. Yesterday, Opposition Leader Peter Dutton said he wanted more detail about the referendum, which has been his constant refrain. He said the Libs have been constructive with government this week in relation to behind-the-scenes mechanics, but that wasn't an indication of support or otherwise.
Sean, on to story number 2 now, and I think this is really interesting. Some research from LinkedIn, 2/3 of people working from home don't think they are hurting their careers, but around 50% feel they need to actually overcompensate to show that they are still serious about work.
The survey of more than 1,000 workers says people are more open to going back into the office than they were a year ago. Around 1/3 of workers are in the office 3 days and more than a quarter 2 days. No surprise that Monday and Friday are the least popular office days. People want to head back into the office for social interactions, to build work relationships and have more efficient face-to-face meetings. Another trend among managers is the loud leaving. That's when the boss makes a bit of a song and dance about leaving the office at a sensible time. Makes it easier for staff to do the same thing. And nearly 50% of survey respondents had experienced loud leaving recently. There you go.
There you go, indeed. Story number 3, Starbucks, Sean, is going big into China, and this is seriously big. They are planning to open a store in China every 9 hours to reach 9,000 locations by 2025, which is not actually that far away.
Yes. Now, Starbucks currently has about 6,000 locations and its famed chief executive Howard Schultz is about to step down. He wants one last crack at the world's fastest growing large coffee market. Did you know there's 100,000 coffee shops in China, about 65,000 in Japan, less than 40,000 in the US? Starbucks is also opening its first roasting plant in China, which will be its first in Asia. China provided close to 10% of Starbucks' global revenue, although last year, or the last 3 months of last year, wasn't such a good time. Plenty of competition in the Chinese market. Tim Hortons, a Canadian chain, has 600 stores. Yum China, which is in partner with Italian brand Lavazza, wants 1,000 stores by 2025. Luckin Coffee, that's Luckin, has more than 2,000 stores.
Story number 4, Sean, the Swiss government has approved plans to legalise the consumption and sale of cannabis in Zurich in a trial that will assess the economic and health benefits of regulating supply of the recreational drug.
It's part of a 3.5-year scientific study starting this northern summer, and about 2,100 residents of Switzerland's biggest city will be able to buy regulated doses of cannabis for personal use if they agree to answer a questionnaire every 6 months. Some European countries are following the lead of US states such as California and New York in moving towards the liberalisation of laws on cannabis consumption. Germany, for example, is running a trial. Zurich is a city of 400,000 residents, of which 13,000 residents are estimated to be regular users. This whole push to legalise cannabis started in North America, has gone to Europe. It will reach us eventually.
All right, last one. Story number 5. British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe is planning to make a bid that would value England's Manchester United Football Club at more than £5 billion.
That's about 10 billion Aussie, and if successful, it would be a record acquisition price for a sports team, according to the Financial Times. Ratcliffe, founder of the Ineos Chemicals Empire is competing against a Qatari businessman for the takeover of the most successful English Premier League football club. Now, the seller is the Glazer family. They were among the first wave of foreign owners to buy into English football. They followed Roman Abramovich's acquisition of West London rivals Chelsea FC back in 2003. A full sale would beat the 4.65 billion US, what's that, about 7 billion Aussie, paid by Rob Walton, heir to the Walmart retail fortune, to acquire the Denver Broncos American football franchise last year.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Friday, the 24th of March, 2023. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.